Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Beatles, Get Back. And this is the new documentary series that has popped up on Disney Plus, where using footage from Michael Lindsay-Hogg, Peter Jackson puts together 8 hours of intense Beatles, just unadulterated. And this film focuses on the Beatles at a studio, featuring studio footage, and that was shot in the early 1969 for their 1970 feature film Let It Be, and focused on them putting together the album and leading up to that rooftop concert that is pretty iconic at this point. And basically you see them noodling around on their instruments, trying to put together these new songs, and it's really awesome being able to see like these amazing creative forces actually doing their thing and creating. And you see them interacting with each other, doing funny voices, trying out different notes and stuff like that. And you get to really feel each of their personalities. Obviously, you spend a lot of 8 hours of intimate time with them, and they're really letting themselves out there. And you see all their significant others, including Yoko, who joins in on singing at points, which shrieking and not a fan, but you really get a feel for their creative process. And that's pretty awesome, being able to see one of the greatest bands of all time and really see their creative process. You see a lot that went into them breaking up. You see George wanting out, and Paul really taking some real leadership over the band. And you see John, who's definitely doing a lot with Yoko, and poor Ringo, just there. And you have each of them kind of showing the cracks that led to them breaking up. And you see, you have them creating all these songs, you have them recording it, the recording process, so not only the writing process, but the recording process, and then the performing. And you get to see it in, these different stages. There's strips of this docu-series where you really get an intimate look into their process and them talking about their process. So there's a lot of really great things going on here. The biggest thing is there's just a lot. And here's the thing. If you're a diehard Beatles fan, you'll probably eat this up. And every little second, you're going to appreciate that it was there. But for me, who isn't a diehard Beatles fan, I do love music, so a lot of this did really work for me. It's just too much. This was 2 hours and 37 minutes, 2 hours and 52 minutes, 2 hours and 13 minutes or so, each of these three parts. It's just so much to consume when there's very obviously plenty of times where they could have just trimmed. Do we need to have them doing silly voices for the 5th time, doing the same song and stuff like that, or being goofy for the 10th time in a certain period of time? It just felt like they had all this footage, and Peter Jackson really wanted to make the best use of it, and wanted to make the most use of it. I don't know if it's the best use of it. I think a lot of this could have been a streamlined and more effective and easier to sit through documentary that still would have showed the same exact thing, just less repetitive, less redundant, and less monstrous in its size. Because this is Peter Jackson, all right, who made Lord of the Rings and The Hobbits. This just feels like a little stretched too thin, showing a little too much. And in the end, there's just times where I felt like I probably could have fast forwarded through this and really not missed a thing. And you don't really want to have a film like that. That just tells you that it's not efficiently edited. And I feel like this film and this docuseries definitely It definitely falters at points because it is too flabby, doesn't trim it down enough, and it's just too much of a great thing that's too repetitive. But, you know, like I said, if you're a diehard Beatles fan, you'll probably enjoy every second of this. And good for you. Enjoy it. But for somebody who's not as strongly a fan, this series could have easily trimmed down like a large chunk of it. But there's still tons to enjoy, tons to appreciate, and this is quite impressive in terms of the world of music documentaries and just documentaries in general. So check this one out. It's on Disney Plus, almost 8 hours of it. But those are my thoughts on the Beatles Get Back. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies and TV, docuseries. Kept doing that, didn't I? But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.